Hello everyone. On today's tutorial, we're going to build a robot which utilizes the 5-minute scalping strategy. For those of you who haven't seen the video about the 5-minute scalping strategy, please go to the TradeGuardian channel, YouTube channel, and have a look at it because we're gonna build a robot specifically for that strategy. All yours today to explain it all, Dada from TradeGuardian, and I hope you're doing really well. So here we are on FX Dreamer website application, which allows us to build robots. And just to remind you, you need to be on this page here, which says on tick. And this is how it looks when you come here. So what I'm going to do is move that away and delete all the unnecessary stuff, which comes automatically as soon as you log on to this website. So let's delete this. Just select all and delete. That should do it. Now, this strategy, just to quickly remind you, relies on 3 rules. Rule number 1, exponential moving average cross, basically 2 exponential moving averages. One of them 200 and another is 500. And a buying condition will be when exponential 200 moving average, 200 period, is above 500 period exponential moving average. Now that's just rule number 1. So let's start from the rule number 1. And how do we build this robot? We need to go on to this tab here, which says check trades and orders. So we need no trade condition to start with, which basically means that there is no trade already going on the chart that we're going to place this robot on. So it checks for trades, it says there is no trade, and now it needs rules and conditions to start buying and selling. So we're starting from the buying condition. And the buying condition number 1, which is from here, and condition, drag it over here, and connect this no trade to our first condition, which is going to be first of our buying conditions. So go into this condition by double clicking, like so, and we already are on the right page because it says indicator and then moving average and indicator moving average conditions. We need to change a couple of things. The moving average period, instead of 5, we need 200, and instead of method simple, we need to choose exponential, like so. And here, instead of 200 period, we need to put 500, like so. And instead of simple, again, exponential. That's the first condition. So 200 exponential moving average here is above, needs to be above 500 exponential moving average. Click update. Now we need condition number 2. Just drag another condition from there, like we just did, and connect the first condition from this orange button to the top of the second condition, just like so. Now we need to edit the second condition. Double click. The second condition needs to be a candle crossing below 500, above 500 moving average. And how do we do that? So we need the first candle closing below 500 moving average and the second candle above. So this is where it gets really complex. Now, instead of indicator, we need to choose a candle there. And this is very important. This number 0 here identifies which candle are we talking about. If it is 0, like it is now, that means it is the current candle, the candle that is not finished drawing on our screens. And remember, we're talking about 5-minute charts, so each candle needs a full time of 5 minutes to close. Now, for this one, we need candle ID 2. And let me explain to you quickly why. 2 means not this current candle that is drawing on our charts right now, not the previous one, which would have been candle ID 1, but the one before it. So third candle back, if you like. So not the current one, not the one before it, but the one before that. And this is how we determine it in a programming language. It's called candle ID 2. Means not current one, not the one before, but the one before that. So for buying, the candle number 2, third backwards if you like, needs to close below moving average, but instead of 20, 500, like so, and instead of simple, exponential. So, and that's candle number 2. Let's remember this for now. So it's a third candle if we're going backwards. Update. Now what we're going to do is, to make our lives easier, just select this, right click on this last condition, the candle condition, and copy. Now click somewhere else, right click and paste. So we don't need to, fill in those forms again, and it just makes our lives easier. Now again, we connect this previous condition by grabbing the orange button and connecting it to the top of our third condition. Double click, and obviously this is going to be exactly what we just programmed before, because it's an exact copy. Now the exponential moving average stays the same, but this time candle ID number 1, let me remind you, number 1 will be not this very current candle, but the one before. This time it closes above the exponential 500 moving average. Just to tell you this story in, in human language, so far we've done this. We made sure that 200 exponential moving average is above 500, and candle ID number 2, this condition here, let's open it, number 2, which is the third candle backwards from the current one, closed below the exponential moving average 500, and the last condition, the candle number 1 ID, closed above 500. So basically previous candle closed below, but the most recent candle closed above it. Update. And that is our 3 basic rules, and we can add another one, which is going to be various signals down here, as you can see, and then we need a bull candle because we're buying. Bull means positive candle, green candle, and we connect again the previous condition just so to this bull candle. And here we need to define the candle ID, again 1, which is correct. Minimum body size in pips should be greater than 5 pips. But tick this box here, and that will be later adjustable in the robot, where we have 5 pips. If you can notice, I ticked this little box right next to it, which makes it adjustable in our robot before we start trading, or even when we're testing it. Okay? Update. Now we have done already almost half of a job on this robot. Why? Because we have all the conditions intact as we need them. Let's go through them. First condition. Let's start from the beginning. Exponential moving average period 200 is above exponential moving average period 500. First condition. Second condition is that candle ID, candle close of the ID candle 2, which means not now, not one before, but one before that, closed below exponential moving average 500. That's our second condition. Third condition is that candle ID 1 this time not current, but just one before, so one after this basically, closed above 500 exponential moving average. Update, and the last condition, also very important, is it's a bull candle, positive green candle, candle ID is 1, the same as the previous condition, and the minimum body size is 5. But because we tick this box next to it, it is fully adjustable later on when we run in the robot live, or even when we're testing it, which is very, very important, because that can actually be adjusted as you wish. And this is why we clicked this box. Update. Now, basically, we are ready to create our selling conditions, and the easiest way from this stage where we are now would be just to select these first 3 conditions, not including the last one, just the first 3, right click and copy. Now right click over here somewhere and paste. Now it makes our life so easier, because now we need to change a couple of conditions, parameters rather, and it'll be our first 3 selling conditions. Now we, again, from the orange, which is very important, we take this cord and connect it to the top of our first condition. Now this is going to be a selling condition, so we need to change everything exactly the other way around. Let's start from the first one. Double click. This time 200 exponential moving average should be below 500. Remember, we are selling now. That's the first condition. We just changed it. So click update. That's done. Second condition, candle close of the candle ID 2, instead of below, it should be above the exponential 500 moving average. Update. And the third but not last condition is that candle ID number 1 should actually close below the 500 moving average. So we basically took the first 3 conditions and changed them exactly the other way around. And the last, very important, also equally important, now we take, instead of a bull candle, which we used for buying here, we need a bear candle. Bear candle, for those of you who don't know, means the opposite of the bull candle. So a negative candle, going down candle. We take the last condition by the orange connector there and connect it to the top of our last condition. Double click, and remember, we can leave everything as it is, but we tick this one, the amount of pips we want, the size of the candle, to be adjustable later on. The rest of it is perfect. Update. Done. We have all the buying conditions, and we also have all the selling conditions. Now, we need to start actually buying and selling, performing those functions, and where we take it from is down here, a big tab called Buy and Sell, and for buy we need Buy Now, and for sell we need Sell Now. And what we do is connect the very last condition. For buying conditions, it's going to be the bull candle condition to the top of Buy Now. And we also do the same on selling side of things. We take the bear candle and connect it to the top of Sell Now. Now, because we're working on a 5-minute chart, we're gonna put appropriate stop losses and volumes into it. So let's start from the beginning. This is all good as it is, but I prefer to change. This is lot size, by the way. So what is going to be the size of the order that robot starts trading with? Instead of fixed volume, I would have percentage of equity. Not balance, but equity. Equity means the available money on your account. Not the overall balance, because not all of it will be available if you have other trades going on, but the actual equity. Percentage of equity, and we tick this box next to it to actually make this adjustable later. Now, usually how I go about this is put 3000% here. And some of you might be thinking, Well, how can we have 3,000 of something, which is usually just 100%? Well, this is just a different way of looking at things. 3,000% of your equity in this case, with this kind of robot, would mean 1/3. Not all of it, not half, just 1/3. So if you wanted to make, for instance, a half, you would then need to put 5,000, which would be very risky. So I don't suggest that. Or you could just leave it at the very conservative setting, which would be 1,000, just like that. I thought I'd explain it to you. So I would usually go and leave it at 1,000, which means that it will only trade a tenth of your available equity. I hope you understood this. And here's the moment where we move on to our stop losses. Now, on a 5-minute chart, I would usually use 13 pips as stop loss and take profit of double that, which is 26. But notice that I'm ticking these boxes. Just to remind you, that's because the ones I'm ticking are going to be available in our robot to change these values into. So instead of 13, you could put 25 there later when the robot's finished, and so on. So we tick those boxes and update, and this is our buying already ready to go. Now we need selling, and we do exactly the same on selling. I'm not going to exactly explain everything, I'm just going to do it because I just explained it to you. 1,000, tick this box. Stop loss, initial stop loss, 13 pips, tick this box to make it adjustable. Take profit 26, which makes it 1-to-2 ratio, which is not bad at all. Update, and now we need the last component of our robot, which is going to be the trailing stop. And we get this from here, trailing stop break even. And we need trailing stop each trade. We drag it over here, up there, and please notice that only now we're using the other connector of our no trade, the yellow one. Before we use the orange ones, now we only need the yellow one and connect it to the top of our trailing stop to make it all fully connected. Double click, and now we need to define our trailing distance, trailing stop distance, and I'd usually use 13 pips, exactly what it is in our stop loss, if you remember. Trailing step, 0, but tick this box to make it later adjustable. And this is important, trailing start, we choose pips offset from the open price. Now, in human terms, that means that how many pips in profit should your trade be before your trailing stop starts trailing. For now, I'm just going to put 0, but tick this box to make it fully adjustable. Update, and this is our robot fully ready, ready to go, and you can adjust the size of the last candle if you wanted to. You can adjust the size of the trading amount. And a word of really necessary advice here. Do not trade this robot live on a live account with real money until you tested it fully on a demo or tested it fully in your MetaTrader tester, which is all free. You're not really putting any money. Just go and use different settings until you're happy with the results, and only then go live and use it. Hope this helps. This only took 20 minutes, but this little robot can work for you for the rest of your life. Cheers everyone, and until the next one, bye bye.